Navigating complex cases tackling dislocated IOLs and glaucoma. This is the first child, 1-year-old young boy with glaucoma, high myopia, and dislocated IOL. So, how did we manage it? We first did peritomy and created a cell flap with MMC. Then we created separate peritomies without continuation and for the cell flap for the SFIOL. Here, I created a 3 to 3 millimeter cell flap in both sides so that there is adequate positioning of the T haptic under the flap. Same thing again both sides. The important part here is no diaphragm under the flap, so there is no breathing direction to the problem. So what I did was instead of getting separate phlebotomy, I went into the bed 1.5 millimeters of nucleus on both the sides. This step reduced separate peritomies and increased the chances of the flap success. Then very carefully clear the vitreous all around, especially around the IOL. The lower part don't pull. Very important. Be careful. Once it's completely free, then you are free to open it up. Now open the anterior chamber on the trap side. The pupil was small, I was high myopic, so I used the Carter suction, engaged it, the haptic with the max width forceps on the side port. I brought it out into the anterior chamber. Now the challenging part was to do small pupil delivering this IOL. So very important, have patience and visualize everything and each step. So gradually with the dialer and the forceps, I was able to bring the IOL in the AC after putting viscoelastic. Then I managed slowly to cut it before so that I'm able to bring it down to the gradual incision carefully without any damage to the endothelium or the iris. Very important when you close to the iris, be careful. So carefully the iris is planted out asymptomatically and then comes the next part. The next part is very important when you do the vitrectomy. Examine the periphery for any break, any dialysis or any other issue. Now CMT flex folding lens is normally used. It is very good lens with a very stable haptic. But the important thing is after you grasp it with the flat surface, don't pull it. Gradually with a small pupil, I engage the IOL and optic and I push it into the cavity slowly. Here, now first it's planned with the leading haptic under visualization. You can see it's done carefully. Now here I'm using a double handshake. With a small pupil, first I hold the shoulder, then the neck with the forceps. Gradually take your time, the AC can slightly collapse. Now holding the neck of the T haptic. Hold the T, very important. The hold of the T by extension should be at the T head and nowhere else. Now the trailing haptic is brought out and secure and you see the IOL is very stable. Very important. Suture the flap to prevent hypotoning or anything. Now comes the second part. Do a trap. Do the fluorostomy. Use the suture of the place. Continuous suturing is done. And post-operatively this patient did very well with a good diffuse bleb and a well-centered IOL. The second case is a stellar tear repair post-vitrectomized with a glaucoma valve. It's aphakic. Now this limited conjunctiva you can see temporally scarred. So I rotated my microscope. I went temporally. So now at 12 or 6 o'clock, infinitely, that was the only area I could place an SFIOL. So here you can see the tube. Now I'm making 3 by 3 flaps. Carefully do your step. It's very critical because if you amputate the flap, then you don't have any other place to place the SFIOL. So take your time, gradually make a groove and then create a flap automatically, making sure you don't buttonhole or amputate it. You can use the left hand for the other side and under visualization, and this gives me a good grip while I'm making the cell flap. So see, I can even hold the conjunctiva in position because you can see the scarring, there's a valve, there's a graft over the valve. Very critical to make sure you do it properly. Place an ACM. Now 1.5 millimeters from the limbus, 23 gauge FDR is used to inside the vitreous cavity. Fully vitrectomized eye with vitreous base shaving. So I'm not worried because I myself did the surgery. Now main column incision is made not perpendicular but more at an angle because you see why. So when you're delivering the IOL, ease of delivering it and holding the T is very crucial. You should not hold anywhere else except the T haptic. And now once you hold it, you might have a tendency, let's pull it out, don't pull it, stay there. Your only movement should be injecting it slowly and steadily into the vitreous cavity or into the anterior chamber. Make sure the trailing haptic does not fall into the vitreous cavity, which either the wound or the iris. Now very important. Again, suture the flaps, suture the conjunctiva, and close the case after forming the anterior chamber. So this is what I try to do sometimes. CMT flex is a very good option in complex situations. You need to customize your approach for each case. Care should be taken for wide-to-wide measurements pre-operatively and do all the steps under view. Thank you.
Very nice. The CMT flex is a very good lens, good alternative for people who do not know. CMT flex has been developed by Nivian Madhivanan from Chennai, and it's a scleral fixation lens. The only problem I find is that the head is a little big, and you have to make a little. You need to literally pull it through that sclerotomy site. So 23 gauge is okay.
Yes, sir.
And how do you gauge, like the T, we have to put the scleral, how do you gauge that incision size versus the T that comes
23 gauge MVR is just one single entry without extension is enough.
What I do is I make the scleral entry vertical. Okay, so it's like a slit.
Yeah.
So that
Yes.
the CMT flex will come and
Yes.
if you make it horizontal, then there's a possibility of slipping. There, you got
Yes.
the point.
Yes, I got it.
So if you make it vertical, it will come and just like a stapler, it will come and stay there. So it's a good lens.
And how,
Just one, do you have a comparison between, you know, the T-flex and the conventional SFIOLs or maybe a three-piece rigid lens in terms of ease of use of the surgeon and post-op stability?
Yes, ma'am. I think if there is sulcus and three-piece lens is the best lens to go for because the stability that three-piece lens will have with proper anterior capsule would be SFIOL. As a SFIOL, yes, as a SFIOL, I don't have a comparative study, sir.